was just getting warmed up.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the face down, but alas. Thankfully you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Adiran godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless face. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
Well, that's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
Darn. The godless and their proclivity for high spaces, I swear. Who put the vase up there in the first place?
Nice job, everyone. I've never seen Emerald Stair like this. It's usually so nice. Envoy? Right. Changing the subject? Not before I've done some reading. Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a Balrog.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in Solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping Sokka from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk softly.
I'll remind you of that next time you start playing your flute at camp.
That is different. Bear's natural prey doesn't tend to play flutes.
They might show up to get you to stop.
I've had this flute for years. I have yet to be killed by a bear.
On second thought, maybe that's what's keeping them away. Those are no ordinary farmhands. As if people weren't hungry enough.
A godlike in Emerald's den. Well, well, maybe our luck's improving. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Try and use their names, if you don't mind. It builds their confidence. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
Oh, and what do you use for fertilizer? Other corpses?
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. What am I supposed to do? Just let them decompose? Reanimated corpses are the future of manual labor. Cost-effective, low maintenance, and very friendly. Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that doesn't belong. Aha! So the blight got into my revenant and interfered with her raising. That confirms one of my theories. Not only is the Dream Scourge affecting our farms, it's disrupting animancy, unraveling our work. Sounds like I have more research ahead of me, but at least now I have a sense of direction. Thank you for getting your hands dirty on my behalf, godlike. You're a natural. We're animancers. Hooking up equipment and seeing what happens is what we do. You see, the living lands is rich with essence, the energy of souls. We channel this energy into our fields, and that's why Emerald's there is the breadbasket of the living lands.
There's something poetic about the idea of plants eating souls to survive. Creepy, but poetic.
But as you can see, we've been dealing with some irregularities. Spoken like a true Adiran. Traditional farms depend on water, sunlight, and the mercy of insects. What you see here is no different. Animancy can change the world, but it's an uphill climb. People don't trust what they don't understand. Come back soon.
Hand in hand, they toil, and the earth gives in return the smile of the harvest.
You take lead. Just like the good old days.
My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like. Come back soon.
More of this stuff. Has anyone figured out how to get rid of it?
Well, that was fun. Here we go.
Once I explained all that, they still said no.
Gods, someone has to do something.
I don't know what to do. I just don't think they're gonna stop.
When did the Rangers start taking the Zarib side?
You could say that. We have had some of the finest animantic farming equipment available until Zarops came and destroyed it. I spoke to the Rangers about it, but they say the Zarops aren't acting aggressive or killing anyone, so there isn't much they can do.
That's odd. Why would Zarops attack equipment and not just continue the raid?
If you only knew what we paid for that equipment.
It isn't just that. We were relying on that equipment to keep our crops growing. Without it, we'll starve.
Why? There's no point.
I'll let them know if the Zarops are no longer a threat.
Finally, someone with a little backbone.
The Zarops have made camp in the swamp to the northwest. I'd say be careful, but my guess is they won't attack you unless you give them a reason. Just go check it out, and let me know what you find. I'll let the Rangers know once the Zarops are no longer a threat. Gods go with you, my friend.
Zarops and Kith usually attack each other on sight. Hingan's the exception. If I found a camp of friendly Zarops, maybe I could finally see what they're always dancing about.
Hello again, friend. Have you looked in on those Zarops?
Oh, no, you don't! Nice!
Watch yourselves.
This one's mine. Who's ready for more?
What do I tell Sovia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it? I left the whole pile right here. Enough food, good food, safe food, to get us through the next few months. I went inside just for a moment. The bandits took everything. This was probably her last harvest. There's not a damn thing left to eat. What? No. We're fine. No smuggling, no dream scourge. What are you implying? Huh. Like sticking your nose in other people's business, do you? Ah, not you two. Gods. Eh? What do I have to lose? My wife. She's sick. Not a dream troll. Just sick. We've known for a while now. But treatment is expensive. There's not enough to go around. I thought if she could eat well for whatever time she had left, she'd be more comfortable. And now, it's gone. There. Are you happy? It's weeping fever. A rose draught would clear her up. But good luck finding any to spare. When they ran away, I saw them following the river north. They're probably hiding up there, waiting to steal from someone else. You come back with my crops, and I'll give you whatever I can. You can't put a price on survival.
That's all of them. Let's go.
another glorious battle.
You don't think the Clavager died alone in the strangle route?
Why?
Oh! Envoy! Hello!
Are you sure it's her?
How many other godlike have come through lately? What can we do for you? Of course. Wouldn't you want to find out if they were headed here? You went in to save the Clavager, didn't you? What did you see? That's terrible. Thank the gods you survived.
They say your ambassador was standing right by the body. Is that true? So, it didn't seem suspicious to you?
Then you were killed too, though. Oh, that can't be a coincidence. It's all a plot. I'm sure of it.
Thanks for stopping by. She'll be chewing on all that for days.
to you. Leave me alone, all right? I'm not looking for trouble. Maybe, maybe not. What's it to you? There aren't. That's why I came here. To get away from them. That damn fool Wolf with his head full of visions. When he wanted to resort to violence, I knew I had to leave. I guess you must have seen something in him I didn't. Hope your mercy doesn't come back to bite ya. I can always find work in Thirdborn, or a ship to somewhere else. I'll figure out my own course, I suppose. Same as you. Good luck out there.
The Emperor's envoy. Come to interfere in Steel-Garrote business again? Certainly not. Besides, I have no more business in Fjord. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Fair enough, envoy. Talk to the man all you'd like. When diplomacy fails, the Steel-Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different now?
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fjord are animancers, you know. Besides humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Care to see what I have? Officially no, but I have been known to dabble with essence infusion here and there. I have one such item for sale, actually. A beautiful mace made of star metal, crafted by the finest smiths of Solace Keep and enchanted by yours truly. It is a wonder to behold. Care to see? Ado, welcome to my fine establishment.
Queen watch over you.
fine establishment, amica.
Jata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Our farms are dying, and the politician here won't do anything about it.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
Did you hear that, Ignacy? You should be taking notes.
Ah, of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Indeed. We were fighting the Dream Scourge before it even had a name. I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. It's nothing. Our governor is backed into a corner and lashing out. I almost respect him for it. Buy me a drink sometime, and I'll tell you all about my family's basement. I thought you'd never ask. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
By tradition, the governor's manor is open to the public. Please wipe your boots at the door.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giatta is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Messiverno. I believe the nature of the living lands is unpredictable, and animancy is our best chance at getting it under control. But what Giatta wishes to do is more dangerous by far than what she's trying to solve. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him. He was loyal to my father, but never to me. And he knows how to rally others to his side.
He reminds me of a lieutenant I served under. Led us into a trap because he wouldn't admit his maps were wrong.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run. Try not to involve yourself in our affairs.
You may look, but don't touch.
I've got a powerful feeling we weren't supposed to see this.
Ignacy. Where is Ignacy? My hands. My hands. Chantal.
Consider yourself a guest in my town. I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal. This conversation is over. That is not a topic for discussion. I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
We should...
My mother is very sick.
Ignaz's mother is very ill. Please, don't disturb her anymore.
Accustomed to failure.
It's okay. We'll try again.
But it's the third time.
You know how it is. Their standards are impossible. It isn't personal.
Of course it's personal. It's the Animonsters workshop. I'm not sure our work is quite ready for peer review.
Maybe. We need some feedback on our proposal.
Using essence to cure male flaccidity is uncharted territory. I'm sure of our thesis.
Our thoughts exactly. Our experiments have been very successful on animals and vegetation.
We treat this important issue with the utmost respect, even down to the proposal's title.
What do you think of this? Boning without bones, essence and the performativity of male anatomy.
Consider this. From stick to stone, using essence to augment male performance. That's brilliant, huh? Simply brilliant.
We've done it again.
Wait until they read this. The days of packing rope are at an end. With this new title, I have much less anxiety about our upcoming... performance.
Keeping much out.
And now that we have a good title is half the battle. And now that we have a title,
all we needed was a title. You may have saved our careers.
Oh,
You startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, god of death. I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger. The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. That's exactly it! Well done! I have always observed it, and I brought it with me when I came to Fjord. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. The ritual heals all. The spirits get one more taste of life, and the living get to offer one last gift to the dead. I like your spirit. I feel better about this already. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. Loggers from the old days, they sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. They buried the bodies of settlers there, intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stairs wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fjord, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. Such a tragedy. A young family lost their lives there as the wilds encroached, swallowed before they could even flee. I believe it will do exactly that. The spirits will find closure and rest, and the living can move on from this recent tragedy. Be careful, friends. The angry spirits lash out blindly. I cannot predict what awaits you at these graves.
Next time you want to tour graveyards, I'm staying at camp. We should help the living and let the dead rest.
I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
If only we had these in the tusks.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence.
They do such lovely work here, don't they? Hang on. I know you from Solace, right? I'm afraid I don't know who you are. Just as you don't know who I am. You're blessed a mad. I remember you. I gotcha. So, we understand each other then. I never thought the world of animancy could be so varied and fascinating. I can make use of so much of this equipment. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit unusual to see one of my people about, but I'm here on important business. If you see anyone else from Solace Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me. Thank you. I wouldn't want my fellow wardens to misunderstand. But we still don't even know why you're here. You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for and more. Please, don't tell anyone you saw me here. It's important that the Council not hear about this.
Can I interest you in some glaive berries or Barrett's bells, perhaps? Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair. 5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dreamscourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in. Oh, I could, easily. But in the long run, where would that get me? I would be no better than them. I used to believe animancers would trust science, but I'm beginning to doubt that. At least I don't have to convince you. All ingredients are fully stocked. Welcome. Come back anytime.
At all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim. Officially, I'm one of the many researchers here. My specialty is in the anatomy of the many species of Eora. If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happened to be me. At least some of these bounties result in interesting specimens to study. Aurat Augori. I hope to see you soon. Ah, those Delamgan. They're not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne? Be careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence. The Trentons. A bunch of butzos, if you ask me. Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Anika. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy.
Come all. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your... A moment of your time, my friend? Tell me, what do you know about your soul? Nothing at all.
Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory. But it's tired, my friend, heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel. That's the beauty of it. The first treatments on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh?
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. From this day forward, your life will be one of bliss and satisfaction. Do remember to tell your friends about all the benefits of animancy. Enjoy your soul.
Hope you don't...
Can I interest you in a demonstration?
They act like they've never seen a park groomed before.
Spirits are truly wonderful, powerful, self-aware, and reach with insight.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
Would you care
A
for
little
a
knowledge
refreshment?
would do me good right about now.
A pity I must wait until I'm dead.
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only two rules of conduct: maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice. Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Their anxiety keeps me in business. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle. Imagine what we could accomplish if more Animancers took a little time to focus on themselves. Now, will there be anything else? Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen. Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable. But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity, and so here we are. Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad ones all end in grief. What? I mean, I'm sorry. What? Could you possibly elaborate? Oh, what a horrible idea. It's just that these sorts of things happen to other people, but never me. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Get a flute? No one could resist a flute.
It seems I need to gather my wits and figure out what to do next. I have no skill with romance, you see. Oh dear. Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years. The fields have been unproductive of late, and what grows has not risen to our standard. I am hopeful that this is a temporary setback and not a sign of things to come. Well, until next. Envoy, welcome.
One job, and I couldn't even do that. Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. You don't have many friends, do you? Ah, gods. Guess I don't have much in the way of manners either. I'm Fidelio, Lieutenant Fidelio Saran. I lead one of our ranger outfits. At least, for now, it is. Are you kidding? They need us now more than ever. It's why we're stretched so thin. We were helping with the recovery effort until we hit a snag. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Three times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adelaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to, I wouldn't have put it that way, but all right.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, you're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Two young Nimdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. Know what I mean?
Pour you a drink, godlike? Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths. I might be more amused if it didn't happen so often. But that's animancers for you. Except Giata and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night. Barrett's bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? What are you fixing to know? Because I don't go out of my way for them. Yeah, they're a finicky bunch. My clientele is more grounded. Works hard. They don't put on airs. I like to keep it that way. Of course. Anything else you fancy? Welcome back, envoy.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe. We break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint. My apologies, Godlike. You happened upon Fior at an inopportune time.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giada, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be alright. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. I'm counting on it.
Careful, or we'll get thrown out of the pub. We're all ready. Really?
Right. This place has seen better days.
Show me what you got!
Okay?
Isoksugu!
think I sprained my shoulder. You know, I get the symbolism of giving perfectly good food to the dead. I just think it's dumb. That tower's for Fjord's Rangers. It's where they stand around and argue about the best route to Shatterscarp.
Listen, we'll get to the bottom of this. Not sure how, but we'll get there. I agree that this is important, Masoni, but if we don't focus on hunting, people will starve.
How is a potential murderer in our ranks not your top priority? You don't think it's real, is that it? You think I'm jumping at shadows?
One moment, please, Envoy. We were just finishing.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not saying it's impossible, Masoni. Only that more immediate dangers require our attention. We'll talk about it later.
Meanwhile, someone's tearing us apart from the inside.
What interest does Adir have in Fjord's affairs? We've survived without your sainted help for this long, and we don't need you now.
The land wasn't trying to kill us before. These are desperate times, Captain. You must see that.
We've suspected the killer among our ranks for several days, but there hasn't been time to investigate.
Seems like a killer among the Rangers would go right to the top of the list, but what do I know?
I told you I'll do it.
We've had to redouble our hunting to feed Fjord, and the bandits and Zarips are running us ragged. Every ranger we lose brings us closer to starvation. Several of my people are beginning to think that as well, particularly Masoni here. But if that's true, to what end?
My gut's never wrong, Envoy.
I used to think that. Then I ate a bad batch of twig rat stew and had to re-examine everything I thought I knew.
Two of our best, Monato and Verano, have failed to report back. Neither of them would fall easily to creatures they faced 100 times before.
Monato is the most skilled tracker we have, and Verano is our most accomplished archer.
I've heard of Monato. He hunted the Black Padfoot a few months back. That thing was impossible to track, but he did it.
You really think one of their own would betray them?
The only threat they wouldn't be prepared for would come from someone they trust.
As if that weren't enough, my rangers spotted a stranger near town this morning. They kept to the shadows, wearing some kind of mask.
Tell her about Durso and Casagrada.
All right, Envoy, if you really want to get involved. Two of my rangers have been acting strangely since the others disappeared. Rangers Dorso and Casagrada.
That's a powerful accusation to make. I know you Rangers are a tight bunch.
Would they really turn on their own brethren?
Both are good people, but they're connected with my missing men. And they haven't been particularly forthcoming. Casagrada has the makings of a good ranger, but he's green. Headstrong.
And quick to anger.
I've seen the type. Rash and proud.
Perfect. Young, strong, and too stupid to know everyone else knows more than he does. Like a yearling splint wolf.
Right. Lately he's been pushing to patrol alone. Says he works better that way. But he's not ready yet.
Then his partner, the veteran Verano, doesn't return with Casagrada from their last foray, and Casagrada has fuck all to say about it?
He's a good sort, or he used to be. But he acts first and thinks later. That gets him and Verano into trouble. Dorso is a veteran. She came up with Monato and Verano, but she's younger than them, and an uncommonly talented tracker. Monato was her partner. They had a falling out over something to do with your people, Envoy, and shortly after, Monato disappeared.
She's been distant ever since. Doesn't pipe up much in meetings or come out to the bar.
Nursing a grudge is one thing. Turning on your squad mates is another.
You don't turn on your partner without a blessed good reason. They've probably saved each other's lives 1,000 times.
Dorso's also one of the few with the skills to take Monato down, so we can't rule her out. You'd have to ask her.
She doesn't talk about it, not even with the other veterans. I feel like she blames us, but I don't know what for.
I've moved Dorso and Casagrada to posts just outside Fior. I haven't explained why, but Dorso's probably figured it out. Speak with them, and follow any leads they might turn up. I'm still not convinced either of them is a murderer, but...
It's better to be sure. You're not the ally we expected to find, but I appreciate it all the same.
Watch yourself in the wilds, Envoy. And Godspeed.
I can't think of much worse than turning on your squad, except having to suspect your own people. We should help them.
Agreed.
Get the beacon dry. Fresh wood and tinder. We may need it.
I'm not climbing up there. The tower's barely standing.
That tower is a clear view of the mountains, the city, and the sea. You're defending your life.
definitely part of some bigger thing we shouldn't mess with. So let's go find the rest of it.
contagious.
Considering it affects plants, animals, and people, not necessarily in that
They're coming for the Queen. Take her out.
We make a good squad.
Take your best shot.
Last week you said there'd be grain.
You know what I said. Listen, if you need food, you're going to have to get in line like everyone else. I don't think there's anything that can be done. I'm hoping the Animancers can find a solution. Honestly, my biggest issue seems to be rats taking the food. Or thieves. I just want the food at this point, but I'm pretty sure it's lost.
You're the first godlike to come through in... well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. Some believe the gods have abandoned Emerald Stair, and yet here I am talking to one of their offspring. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. You'd think so, but they don't approve of animancy. Something about undead farmhands makes them nervous. They still buy our crops, mind you, when the harvest's good.
I don't see what's the problem.
They just make me feel uncomfortable.
I'm glad to see revenants working in our fields. I see nothing wrong with it.
What if the body used to be your brother? Your grandfather? You, Adiran, you know what a revenant is, don't you? Your dead friends and family walking around rotting all over your cabbages?
Well, they're more efficient than we are. They don't need to sleep or eat, and it leaves us free to do other things.
Huh, well, fire is much more efficient at harvesting the fields, but we wouldn't want to eat whatever it leaves behind. Every monster we let wander the valley is one more threat to our children, not to mention to our crops.
Are we certain of that, Matya?
How would I know? I'm a farmer, same as you. But given the state of our fields... you have more faith in the animancers than I do, Ondino.
Nothing. That is my point.
Oh, then you will not mind when the animancers put one in your home. Perhaps you can get one of the animancers to raise up your late wife so she can keep cooking your dinner.
Thank you, friend. With luck, that will buy me a few moments of quiet.
Seven in the past week. How am I supposed to live like this?
Ah, Ado. You've caught me at an unfortunate time. You wouldn't happen to be an animancer? Gods, it's about time somebody like you came along. If I have to chase down one more revenant, I'll lose my mind. I don't know. They just disappear. I wish they would at least come back. Soon I won't have any left. People are used to the damned things wandering around. I'm the one who's panicking here. If Elia finds out, I'll never hear the end of it. I have to have some standards, even at a time like this. You know, maybe there is something. Maybe I know where they went. I've caught them trying to shamble off to the nearby lake before. Revenants aren't very bright. That can't be a coincidence. They must be attracted to something. It could even have power over them. should I know? I left years ago. Maybe she's made them more docile since then. I was hoping you'd say that. Just follow the trail of revenants. I'd look myself, but I don't trust the few subjects I have left. Oh, and if you find something, I'd be grateful if you brought it here. I want to see whether it leads the surviving revenants back. The only way to find out is to experiment.
Envoy, a pleasure as always. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Yes, quickly and mercifully if you can. Silvo is one of my revenants, my oldest, my favorite, and the pride of my flock. Someone needs to put the poor fellow out to pasture. And I just don't have the heart to do it myself.
Well, it's already dead. That's the hard part done right there.
When a revenant goes bad, there's only one option. Final death. And poor Silvo's time has gone. Outsiders and travelers down on their luck. You'd be surprised how many people want to sell their bodies to animancy.
Say what you will about mercenary and military life. At least your obligations end at death.
Anyone else see a downside to giving monetary value to corpses?
This is a good forever home for the undead. Better than some crypt, anyway. But sometimes we have bad days. It never gets any easier. First, you mourn the loss of life, and then you mourn the loss of death. Silvo is on a strict diet, but I suppose he could have gotten into the crops when my back was turned. You never know with these rascals. Whether you're raising cows or corpses, every farmer lives with death. That should cover everything. You can find Silvo in the barn. He's blocked the door somehow, but the window should be open. Just be gentle with him. He's a good boy.
So, we're killing a revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
Emerald Stair has seen better. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. You wouldn't know it to look at him, but on a full stomach, he was as gentle as a lamb. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the dream scourge, they have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. But how to find something so well hidden? Can something so metaphysical even be found? Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Seems a little far-fetched. Then again, what isn't these days? You're a godlike, so anything is possible. Perhaps your nature will grant you more answers. And thank you for the interesting riddle. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
This place could use a broom or two. Maybe a team of carpenters.
I don't think it's fair. I didn't do anything wrong. You're probably using me as an example. Pick on a new kid, you know? I'll be back out there in no time. You watch.
I am off. Bother me no more. Ah, your face!
You're that envoy, aren't you? It's the face. Gives you away. What can the Fjord Ranger's rising star do for you, Your Eminence? Oh, it is? Yeah, temporary. Asierno's just sorting some things out. But everyone seems dead set on doubting my word. I don't see what the issue is. It's all just a big misunderstanding. I already gave her my reports. I don't know what she... Oh, did she want me to give you some pointers? Because I'm kind of an expert in the art of combat. Wait... You think I'm the killer, don't you? Listen to me. I didn't do anything wrong. Verano going missing isn't my fault. Verano should be back at headquarters any minute. He seemed to have things under control when we got separated. We were scouting out the abandoned homestead near Nakotedek when the bandits attacked us. I drew 2 of them away from the fight, and Verano and I got separated. When I doubled back around to check on him, I didn't see anyone. I assumed the fighting was over. That's exactly what I did. Haven't you ever heard of regrouping?
It's not regrouping when you abandon your own partner.
I've told you everything I know. No one else seems to believe me, so believe whatever you want. Look for a bridge southwest from Fjord, near Nakotedek. Go west across the bridge and you'll come across the camp. There could still be bandits around there. Be careful.
Hopefully it's not too late for his partner. For both their sakes.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? The gods are silent on this question.
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation.
I hate speculation. I want answers.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal? We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Tired of being remarkable? Interesting.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh soccer, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Into exile.
Ugh. I wish I knew how it felt to be as blessed as you are.
I don't know who or what you are, and frankly it doesn't matter. Stay out of trouble, and there won't be any problems. You heard me. So, what do you want? Well, you found someone. This is what remains of Fjord's mercantile district. Obviously, it has seen better days. Depends on who you ask. For all their supposed knowledge, not even the animancers know for sure. 40 years ago, this place was a bustling harbor, shipping food to Thirdborn, Paradis, and the occasional smaller settlement. I would know. I was still right here, at this very post. Dwarves live longer, so 40 years isn't that long to us. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some ruins to watch over. Oh, it's you.
Indulge me. A trial. My champion can claim you. Before you. prize is yours, and our business concluded. Farewell.
Worse than rot! Worse than rot! Worse than rot!
Coming from your right!
Another win, but who's counting?
I guess someone will have to do this for the people who starve to death when the food runs out.
You're mine now! Let's get him! One for you!
get it?
Oh, no, you don't!
They say he's still there. Oh, it's just unfortunate, that's all. Yes, love. But to be fair, you have seen the title of his latest dissertation, yes? I have. I very much looked forward to his presentation. Sadly, I believe we've seen as much as we'll ever see. Well, For those out of the know, we were discussing the death of Giacomo Filuccio, an immenser of note. Such brilliance, cut off in his prime. Truly, he was expected to set the world of Animensia aflame.
Well, I suppose he had an explosive career, nonetheless.
Oh, you. I certainly hope so. Though, some might say Filuccio's work was vastly successful.
I know I see no need to doubt his theories.
I hope someone carries on the poor man's research.
Nothing here. There you are. Did you deal with those bandits? Well, keep going up the river. Here's hoping they haven't eaten it yet.
I really don't think you can deny that every...
Do you think they'd notice? Fine. If I ever have...
I thought they'd be great.
How else will they learn?
What happens when this madness spreads to Donshore?
Stay out of trouble. Or make sure I don't notice it.
I pretty much brought that...
Oh, Envoy! You have to help me. If I have to listen to this twig of a recruit tell his stories for even one more minute, I'll probably die. I am indeed. I'm flattered that you've heard of me. It's great to meet you. Ranger Iziana D'Orso at your service. All right, but make it quick. I'm obviously very busy. Kidding, of course. Before you ask, I know you're trying to find your supposed killer among the squad, and I really don't know much about it. Frankly, I think she's overreacting to a late report. Monato might be our best tracker, but he doesn't put a lot of stock in patrol rotation, rest days, or Asierno's toothless protocols. Ugh, there's too many of them. Check in twice a day, sign the patrol roster, write your reports, keep up with the bulletin board, make sure the recruits are cleaning their gear.
Come on. You can't maintain a fighting force with shoddy equipment and poor discipline.
It's busy work. She says it's meant to protect us, but all of us took this job knowing it was dangerous. We should be out there killing the creatures attacking our farmers, not writing 5-paragraph essays on bandit movements.
You have a point.
Half of these kids can hardly read. Monato's always been acting strangely. Most paranoid man I've ever known. Thinks everyone's out to get him. Me, you, you're still Garot. Gods only know why. But one thing's for sure. You won't find him if he doesn't want to be found. He's a competent fool. No different from most of our recruits. And this land is cruel. I give him 6 months. Maybe a year. Verano and I are stationed on opposite ends of the valley. I hardly ever see the man except in passing. Casagrada is his partner, supposedly. You want to know more, ask him. The last thing I heard was that Monato was going to scout out the ogre camp. It was claimed by an old animancer years ago. He and the ogre are, friends. I have no idea what they got up to in there. Experimenting on Zarebs, probably. I couldn't tell you what's there now. I don't know anyone who could. The animancer struck a deal with Asierno. We're not allowed to go there. Why Monato was headed there is beyond me. But if you want to track down Monato, that would be the first place to look. From here, cross the northern bridge and follow the path west. The path will become a cobblestone road and pass through the swamp. You'll find a cave in the hillside. Should pick up Monato's trail around there. I'm not Monato's keeper. He's a grown man and can take care of himself. Right. Watch your back out there, Envoy. The Living Lands are a dangerous place.
Hopefully when we find Monato, we can find some answers.
You've seen better days. With any luck, this will pass.
Please be discreet. Solis Keep wouldn't understand.
I only carry the freshest herbs, mind you. Come back any...
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amica.
Confounded machine. Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. What a question! If I were to answer in full, we'd be here for several decades. In short, we animancers study essence, soul matter, if you will. Nearly everything has some essence, including you and I. Here in Emerald Stair, we use essence to enhance the crops, power our machines, even animate corpses. That is a preliminary explanation, but one that should serve, I hope. Well, maybe to you, but I was educated in the great laboratories of Spirento, in the halls of experimentation. But you didn't journey all this way to hear me reminisce about the old country. More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too dangerous at this scale. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So, you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Well, let's go. That Adragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something. Look what happened to them.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this.
What do you think of Giatta's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little...
unpredictable? Like, the essence has no sense of direction.
How did you know?
We should talk, but not here.
Ado! Welcome to my fine establishment, I'm Mika.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. Conflict, no. Consequences for my actions, oh yes. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. So good. Let's have it. You're paying me to keep you alive, not to open up. In fact, you're not paying me at all. So let's just keep things professional and keep your guide happy and unburdened by thoughts of his past. I appreciate that, envoy. Anyway, what do you need? Thanks for talking.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You seem to have turned out okay. You and Giada, come to think of it. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Can we just talk about something else?
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side. What's on your mind? Not a whole lot. Playing around with essence, poking at souls. Though, if we're going to understand the dream skirt, still, I'm happy to leave those...
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Then I guess it's better that you're the one with a connection to something in the beyond. And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adheran interests? They aren't going to make you any friends, that's for sure. Stay sharp. A storm's brewing. And better if we can find it before it finds us. My favorite... He was my commander and thirdborn. But he was more than that, too. A mentor. A friend. Tama helped me out when I first came to the Living Lands over a decade ago. I was still figuring myself out.
Was. This is you, having figured yourself out.
Hey, now I know I can't stomach rusk snout milk. As for what we'll find, I don't know any more than you. I'm hoping for a good baking mold, but who knows? All I know is he said it was his most prized possession. And seeing as he was on his deathbed at the time, I wasn't of a mind to ask. Nah, same reason I've got dirty dishes and unmended trousers back home, I guess.
You're the only one I know who can sew for an hour and wind up with a bigger hole than you started with.
Next time you get assassinated, Marius will be the one stitching you up. And here I thought Rawatayans were supposed to be uncomfortably direct. You know how sometimes you leave a thing unfinished for too long and it just grows bigger and bigger in your mind? I just need to see what he left me. Whether it's one of his old books or one of those fossils he was always collecting. Right. Exactly. Enough from me. We've got a long road ahead. Where to start? The man couldn't carry a tune, but it didn't stop him from trying. He'd have the whole tavern singing shanties with him nearly every night of the week. He had a vexing habit of saying the thing you most needed to hear when you were least ready to hear it. He'd give you the shirt off his back and the meat off his plate. But the selfish bastard left the rest of us a world without him in it. Hey, you're not the one who did the leaving. That's why I've got to put this to rest. You know where to find me.